Hi everybody, I'm Terry Stiles. Welcome to Oxford News This Week. This week, the school says hands off CRT, Township OK's Library Board bond ballot, and there's another new kid in town. All that and more, the Oxford News begins right now. With all the talk of critical race theory, Oxford School District has put it out there that the CRT curriculum will not be on our local curriculum, nor will the 1619 project, according to Deputy Superintendent of Curriculum Ken Weaver. A bill introduced to the Michigan State Senate seeks to ban both topics from the Michigan Public Schools from grade K through 12. The bill states districts in violation would lose 5% of their state funding should either subject be taught. Weaver said since neither is taught in Oxford, the law would not directly impact the district. However, it may make teachers reluctant to address diversity, equality, and inclusion with students. According to Weaver, who also states we should not ignore the past, quote, sins or of our nation or distort history, and that Michigan schools should foster and defend intellectual honesty, freedom of thought, inquiry, freedom of speech, and instruction through actual history in the context of time, unquote. Additionally, Weaver said we should encourage our children to love their country's unique place in history. Senate Bill 460 was referred to the Committee on Education and Career Readiness. No date has been set for hearing yet. Last week, the Oxford Township Board passed a resolution to hold a special election in November for the Oxford Public Library to request an over $9 million bond to pay for expansions and renovations on the library currently, the current library. Subject to voter approval on November 2nd, 2021, the bond will be paid for through a millage levied. Already approved by the Library Board, the resolution moved on to the township for approval. The library will target an increase in Youth Services Department floor space. Among many other improvements, the Adult Services will add study and conference rooms, a local history and genealogy room, and relocate the Adult Computer Lab. The HVAC system will also be upgraded. Similar to the August 2020 proposal, which was passed over by only a little over 40 votes, the bond would be a 20-year, $9 million bond, though it would also levy over $500,000 the first year and $500,000 every other year after that. It will be separate from operational millage, which currently does not provide enough beyond operations to cover improvements. The Library Board will work on getting the word out. The next Library Board meeting is July 21st. It's a regular meeting, and it's not yet for a bond presentation. However, there will be some clarification of news that's out there. Thanks to the Northeast Oakland Historical Museum, the Oxford Township hallway is much more interesting these days. Once dedicated to dated Oxford memorabilia, the display case in the hall now supports unique museum historical artifacts. Volunteers Drew Holt, Gussie Ashley, and Sue Bassardi filled the showcase with a collection of items from the Tungsten Hardware business, which operated downtown Oxford for more than 100 years. Check out the Charter Township of Oxford Facebook to get the history of the hardware store. And thanks to the museum for supplying the education. Hopefully we will all see more displays like this in the future. Speaking of displays, the Polly Ann Trail is a recipient of the Detroit Institute of Art's popular Inside Out program. Currently, a reproduction of the portrait of Postman Rowland at an oil created by Vincent van Gogh is displayed on the trail at the base of the Pollyant Trail Bridge. Thanks to all who have been respectful of such a great loan from the DIA. As part of the Tri-County millage passed in 2012, the DIA offers free museum admission to any resident of Macomb, Oakland, or Wayne counties. Well, it's no surprise that the Township of Oxford breezed through another year of positive audits. This month, the board was informed that the township received the highest level of audit opinion possible, with no exceptions or disclaimers. Nothing bad to report, according to the Plymouth-based firm of PSLZ LLP, Certified Public Accountants. Congratulations to all of us for the fiscal responsibility of the Oxford Township Board. There's another new kid in town, and if you're craving coffee from Laos, Harvester Coffee Sweets and Eats is at your service. Located in what used to be Choo-Choo's Chocolates, owner Victor Kalish says that it's all really about experiencing sitting down and enjoying a cup of coffee and not wanting people to rush through a drive-through. And if you're hungry, Harvesters has an extensive crepe, tea, and panini menu. Born in the Ukraine, Kalish has traveled the globe for both business and pleasure, settling in the Rochester area. The shop is open from 7 to 3 Monday through Friday and 9 to 3 on Saturday, closed on Sunday. If you want to learn more about Harvesters, keep an eye out for an interview with Victor by our Alexis on OCTV. Well, I hate to report this about our community, but someone stole a Bigfoot last week. Meg Spencer of Ballantyne Road posted on social media that someone stole her 7-foot Bigfoot silhouette. The Yeti was a friendly reminder to the neighborhood that country living crafting is still fun, and became a focus on the neighborhood during the pandemic. Dressing him up for the past year in holiday garb, Spencer said that the loss is especially sad because it was something she and her family created during the pandemic lockdown. She is heartbroken that someone planned the theft, as it had to be disassembled in order to remove it. She hasn't lost hope, though. She continues to keep an eye out for it on the back roads. If any parent finds a strange Yeti in their backyard, please call Meg for a reward at 586-222-3514. What a shame. There's another new kid in town, or a couple. Andrew and Vicky Zelke opened their third Culver's this week, stating that they fell in love with the brand because of its quality food, including their butter burger, chicken, fish, and custard. Operating since 2014, the couple own the new Oxford location, one in Rochester and another in Livonia. Getting a standing room only reception by the Oxford community, Vicky said that she's anxious to get involved in the community and looking forward to working with the schools and churches. Currently, they've employed around 50 full and part-time employees, and they plan to hire at least 10 to 15 more. For those of you interested in becoming a Culver's employee, contact the Zilkes by calling 248-256-6051, or you can email them at Culver's of Oxford, and we don't have that full address there, so I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. With a great season behind them, the Oxford Wildcat softball team will be represented in the Michigan High School Softball Coaches Association Division 1A All-Star game at Central Michigan University. Whew. Chosen to represent the Lady Cats are second baseman Alexis Cardona, first baseman Caroline Marsh, and right fielder Alex Stoll. All three players will play for the Red Team, coached by head Wildcat coach Kenny Allen and Bob Kukla of Bay City, Matt Fishburne of Fraser, and Jamie Newbecker of Grand Blanc. All season long, Cardona was the lead hitter, and in her senior year, she amassed three doubles and 22 runs batted in. A four-year player, she will continue her career for the Davenport Panthers. Marsh is another four-year player, posted a 403 batting average and played all 4 years as a varsity player. And Stoll led the Cats in offensive categories, including a batting average of .532, 66 hits, 9 doubles, and 6 triplets. Like Cardona, she will also play at college level for Albion Brintons. 35 seniors from around the state will represent 25 high schools and will be split into 2 teams, the Reds and the Whites. Marsh is a standout with a 403 batting average with her 8 doubles, 4 triples, and 3 home runs and 39 RBIs. Well, that's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories or others, you can go to the Oxford Leader newspaper or Charter Township of Oxford Facebook page, or you can catch us on Charter Channel 191, AT&T Channel 99, or you can also catch us on our website, which is occtv.org. I'm Terry Stiles. Thanks for watching OCTV, where we bring your news closer to home.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. Ford Motor Company is dropping the F-150 pickup's diesel engine option after just 3 years because of low demand. The automaker has informed dealers that it would no longer take orders for the 3-liter Power Stroke diesel option after July 16th. Our customers overwhelmingly order our EcoBoost V6 gasoline engines, which is why we are removing the diesel from our lineup, a Ford spokeswoman said. For customers who need maximum towing torque, we now offer the F-150 Power Boost Hybrid as the ideal combination of capability, power, and fuel efficiency, which hasn't been available when Power Stroke was introduced. Ford said the final Power Stroke deliveries will continue throughout late this year. Ford hailed the diesel engine as one of the main selling points of the profitable pickup's mid-cycle freshening in 2018, touting its performance capabilities for customers who wanted to tow and haul more. Officials said they had expected roughly 5% of customers would select the diesel option. The engine, a variant of the Lion diesel that Ford builds for use in Land Rover and Jaguar vehicles, is made in England. It produces 250 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. Ford said at the time that the engine's 30-mile-per-gallon highway rating made the F-150 the most fuel-efficient full-size pickup on the market. The engine was carried over into the redesigned truck, which debuted last year. Now, however, Ford is pivoting to electrified options, including the Power Boost Hybrid and next year, the battery-electric F-150 Lightning. And on the recall front, General Motors is recalling over 410,000 pickup trucks from the 2015 and 2016 model years because the roof rail airbag inflator end cap in them could detach from the inflator or the inflator sidewall could rupture. According to a safety recall report with NHTSA, corrosion caused by moisture introduced during the supplier manufacturing process could occur inside the inflator vessel. If the end cap separates from the roof rail airbag inflator or a sidewall rupture occurs, compressed gas could escape and the end cap could be propelled into the vehicle, potentially injuring the driver or passengers. General Motors says the supplier at the time of assembly was Key Safety Systems, now known as Joyson Safety Systems. The recall covers a range of pickup models, the 2015 and 16 GMC Sierra 1500, 2500, and 3500, and the 2015 and 16 Chevrolet Silverado 1500, 2500, and 3500. GM reports roof rail airbag inflators ruptured in 3 unoccupied 2015 Silverado vehicles in mid-June of 2021. In all 3 cases, the steel inflator sidewall split open and suddenly releasing the gas stored inside the chamber. GM estimates that it will notify owners by mail August 16th. The automaker says dealers will replace the left and right side roof rail airbag modules free of charge. Owners will be getting a second notice when a GM remedy is available, GM said. It notified dealers on July 1st. A GM spokesman told Automotive News it is not aware of any accidents or injuries associated with the recall. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Fish literally get brainier when they have to think harder and less brainy when they don't. At least that is the implication of 2 studies by Frederic Laberge at the University of Guelph in Canada and colleagues that show fish brains growing larger relative to their body size in more challenging environments and shrinking in less challenging ones. Changing relative brain size as needed could help fish save vital resources. The brain is known to be one of the most energetically expensive tissues to maintain, says Laberge. In one study, Laberge and his team studied lake trout across 6 consecutive seasons in 2 different lakes in Ontario, Canada. They found that brain size relative to body size increased in autumn and winter and decreased in spring and summer. Lake trout avoid warm water, so they are limited to deeper water in the summer, Laberge says. But during the winter, they forage in shallower waters near the shore, which is a more complex environment. The higher cognitive demand appears to boost, that is, brain growth. That's the assumption, Laberge says, though the study can't show why these changes happen. In a second study, he and his colleagues compared the brain sizes of rainbow trout that had escaped from a fish farm in Canada and began living wild in a lake with those that remained captive. After 7 months, the brains of the escaped trout were 15% heavier relative to body size than those of the captive fish. The increase was specific to the brains, Laberge says. There was no change in the relative size of the heart, for instance. Previous lab studies by other groups have suggested that fish brains are plastic and change size as needed, he says. Fish in labs have smaller brains compared with the same fish in the wild, and enriching their environment increases brain size. But his team is the first to show this happening in the wild. Laberge says in mammals, new neurons develop only in a few specific areas during adult life. But in fish, amphibians, and reptiles, this occurs throughout the brain. This could be why the brains of at least some fish can grow when required, though the team hasn't studied what is happening at a cellular level. And the search goes on. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
There's a hidden problem going on right now in our community. This past year has created tremendous financial stress on families. Many are having to make sacrifices they've never had to face before. Some are even going hungry. But there's also something amazing going on behind the scenes. Samaritan House, the Manna Food Pantry, Capex Kitchen, the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry, just to name a few. All of these organizations are powered by an army of volunteers, people who give of their time and their money and other resources so that their neighbors, our area families, don't go hungry. And 4 County Community Foundation has been there, behind the scenes, granting these organizations money for equipment and supplies to make this happen for many years. But we realize there's more need than ever before. So today, we're announcing a new fund, Feeding Families Forever. This fund is designed to create an everlasting endowment so that organizations in our community have the resources they need to keep doing their incredible work. One hungry mouth, one meal at a time. Now we're asking for your help. If you're ready to step up and help support us and see that no one ever goes hungry in our area, just follow the link provided and let's feed families forever.
For food security.
For us.
For our community.
For county.
4 County Community Foundation. For us, for our community, 4 County.
Every year, distracted drivers are responsible for nearly 2.5 million car crashes. The National Safety Council reports cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes. The NSC reports 1 out of every 4 car accidents in the United States is caused by texting and driving. Texting or reading text takes your eyes off the road for at least 5 seconds.
How you doing, ma'am?
So if you were traveling at 55 miles per hour, you're essentially driving the length of an entire football field blindfolded. Once a driver has been distracted, it takes only 3 seconds for a car crash to occur.